properly documented yet.
Why aren't you singing Molly Malone?
I'm sorry. I didn't know I could sing songs about prostitutes.
Here you come, there you go, request. Look at what they're saying, the last minute. Tim Finnegan was a guy who fell off a ladder and he hit his head off the ground rather suddenly and died. Okay, they took him home, they had a wake. A very large party that went on for about 4 days and there was an awful lot of drink involved. And it was so good that he rose up and joined in himself. Do I look, am I laughing here? Anyway, suspension of disbelief takes over. Anyway, what we want you to do is clap your hands in the chorus, that's all we want you to do.
Okay.
Nothing else. That's all you have to do. Okay, no dancing, no singing, no clattering your false teeth or rattling your jewellery and like that. No, just clap your hands. Only in the chorus, not in the verses, okay?
Okay.
Verses are kind of slow, but we'll give you a nod for the chorus. That's it.
Okay, we're ready.
Right. I actually neglected to mention they actually have to stop clapping when we stop playing.
Good against evil. They were the Batman and Superman stories that we have today. And one of the stories they had was of Balor of the Evil Eye. And Balor was the head of the Fomorians. And the Fomorians, they were the arch enemies of the Tuatha De Danann, who we were talking about earlier, the old gods and deities night. And he was called Balor of the Evil Eye because it was said that when he was a young boy, he looked into a room where the druids were practicing their magic spells, and there was an explosion, and the spell of death came out of the room into his left eye. And after that, whoever he looked at with that eye, he killed them stone dead. So wouldn't be welcome at parties or social events with an eye like that, so he had to keep that eyelid closed. It got heavier and heavier until eventually he couldn't open it anymore himself. But in times of battle, he was put at the head of his armies. In different descriptions, they're great. One, he is a silver servant with a silver fingernail that gently lifts up his eyelid, and the eye unleashes its destructive power. Others have him that he's got a servant, or he's got a golden ring in his eyelid, and he's got to serve 4 servants with ropes and pulleys that heave the eyelid open. Whatever happened, that eyelid was open, it unleashed its destructive power, making him a pretty formidable foe. And the reason why the Fomorians held sway over the Tuatha De Danann for a certain period of time in our mythology. Now it was foretold to Balor that he would be killed by his own grandson, and when he heard this, he locked his only daughter Ethlyn in a crystal tower and surrounded her with guards and ladies in waiting to make sure that no man got near her. He went on around his business, raiding the lands of the Tuatha De Danann, and he took a great cow from a man called Cian and brought it back to his lands, said to be Tory Island up there in Donegal. And Cian followed him back. He wanted to get his cow back, and he used Birog, a druidess, to use her magical powers to send the guards and ladies in waiting to sleep. And he got through the cordon, up the crystal tower, and there he met Ethlyn. They fell in love. He very quickly forgot about his cow, and they spent the night together. The next morning, Birog, the druidess, spirited him away before Balor found out. 9 months later, she gave birth to 3 boys. Balor found this animal ballistic. He didn't want that prophecy that had been foretold to take place. And the 3 babies taken off were each put in a wicker basket and pushed them out to sea to drown them. 2 drowned. 1 was rescued by Birog the druidess and brought back to the lands of the Tuatha De Danann and was brought up by Cian and his family. And he was called Lu. In Irish mythology, Lu is the god of light. The month of August is called Lunasa in Irish. And Lu grew up to be a great warrior of the Tuatha De Danann. He was particularly deadly with a slingshot. Whatever he fired at, the rock from it would kill that person stone dead. He said to the king, "Make me the head of the armies, and I will take on Balor of the Evil Eye." The king agreed. A great battle of Moytura took place with Balor at the head of the Fomorians, confronting her grandson Lou across the battlefield at the head of the two-edged Danann. Balor's 4 servants appeared there with those ropes and the pulleys, and they heaved his eyelid open. And the eye began to unleash its destructive power. And they killed hundreds of warriors of the two-edged Danann, and they killed their king, King Nuada. And Lou had enough. He lined up a slingshot and he fired, and the rock went hurtling across the battlefield, straight into Balor's eye, killing him stone dead. But just before he fell to the ground, did the rock continue to push the eye out through the back of his head. And now the rock of the eye unleashed its destructive power on those behind him, his own army, the Fomorians, and sent them into flight. And the two-edged Danann were victorious, and Lou became their king. Bad story. But the concept of good winning out over evil and light over dark. And what I love about that story is, do you remember we were saying how if it's a good idea, it travels?